Hello and welcome to The Last Ninja, which is quite a famous game on the Commodore 64. You control this little ninja who is, well, he is the last ninja of the title. You can probably guess this is a isometric arcade adventure with a little bit of combat, but the combat's not particularly complicated. There's a little bit of puzzle solving, but again, it's not too complicated. It's mostly, it's primarily an arcade adventure, and one of these games where it helps to make your own little maps to find out where you're going. But, or you can just read a magazine of the time and just use the map that they published in them. Now, this game was released in 1987 by System 3, programmed by John Twiddy, who's an excellent programmer, I must admit. Graphics by Hugh Riley, and I personally believe Hugh Riley is one of the few real artists on the 64. He's not just a pixel man. You know, he's got quite a unique style, sort of broad canvas, but you can see a lot with just a few pixels. Music, it's got a famous tune belting away in the background there. Music is by Anthony Lees and Ben Daglish. I believe, now I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Anthony Lees wrote all the music for the loading stages, and Ben Daglish wrote the music for all the game levels. Right, let's get started there. Now, you don't start with any weapons, so just got to slug it out. Best just to use the kick, I think. Now, the control system, I think, is where a lot of players get put off by the game. It's one of these. I mean, it's very cleverly done. A one-button joystick and a couple of keys to select weapons and items, but it's mostly done with the joystick. You can move around, do some somersaults, and when you've got a weapon you can fight, all with one button joystick. And if you bought the game, you would have the manual, and it's very well explained in the manual. But if you don't have the manual, I can see why that it could be a bit confusing. But you can't blame the game for that. You are supposed to buy them and have the manual. Right, here's the sword. Like little animation when he pulls out sword. Yeah, obviously I've played this game quite a few times, to say the least, so I know the route, so I'm quite able to whiz through the game. Oops, now I've got a sword, the combat's a bit easier. You can see my energy is represented by the power bar at the bottom left of the screen. Enemy energy is represented by the bar at the top of the screen, top right of the screen. Some enemies are armed with various different types of weapons. Some are a bit cleverer than others. Some move faster. Some are pretty dumb. So it's a bit like sort of real life, I guess. There'd be enemies of different skill levels. Now, when this game came out, it was quite hyped for its just the size of the game. Really, I believe it's in total it's over 300k in size, which is quite a big game for a Commodore 64 game. Now, I had this on cassette, which the game came on 2 cassettes, which were both quite lengthy. But I didn't really mind the multi-load too much, because you got some nice music in between loads. But once you got to a level, you stayed there, so you could practice the level as much as you wanted, really. And most levels had an opportunity to pick up an extra life, so you could get a lot further. Right, here we are at one of the negative points of the game, is that these bloody swamps. Now, it's quite easy for me because I know how to navigate them, but if you don't, they can be quite frustrating. But there you go, I made that look pretty easy. Now you can actually go to these little Buddhas and they give you hints to what to pick up. You can pray in front of them. They tell me to collect an apple. I mean, it's sort of stating the obvious because all the objects you pick up flash on screen, so you can't... well, they flash as long as you've picked up the pouch, I think it is. So you can't really go wrong. I'm almost at the end of the level, but I'm almost out of energy, so I'm bound to lose life. Now you can see, you know, when you move past behind objects, you know, the ninja is properly masked out. I believe, if you know anything about the Commodore 64, there's not a lot of great isometric games on it, due to the slow processing speeds and the way sprites work. So this uses quite a clever system where I believe John Twitty wrote, I can't remember what it's called now, but he wrote some program, the tools to create each screen and create masks for areas where the ninja would move behind objects. This means that I think the ninja, I think the sprite is masked out in real time, I think, and I think it's quite processor intensive. You can see that he does actually slow down a little bit as he walks behind complex objects. Enough technical details. You can see the screens themselves are built up. Take a few seconds to build up. I mean, a full-size bitmap display on the Commodore 64 would be take up 8K. Now you can see this is not quite full screen, so maybe take up 5K maybe. But each level must be about 30, 40 screens maybe. You can see it's quite an impressive job to squeeze all this into, you know, essentially 64K maximum each load. It's a very clever piece of programming, which is probably not obvious to most people unless you know the ins and outs. But most isometric games on the 64 or the Spectrum would tend to be monochromatic, but this is full colour. Quite detailed graphics, but not as detailed as the sequel games. Here we are with the dragon. Now I've picked up a smoke bomb, so I should be able to line myself up and miss him completely. There we go, got him this time. He's knocked out, so I can sneak by him, otherwise he would roast you. Right, here we are at the end of the first level. Right, on to level 2. Right. The first level takes, well, the plot of the game is that your ninja clan has been decimated by the evil shogun. I can't remember his name now. But he's killed your clan and he's stolen the sacred scrolls and taken them back to his fortress, which is hidden in the mountains. And you begin the game outside in the wastelands, which I've just completed. And now I'm just approaching the mountain range, which is outside this palace grounds. We're going to try and... The idea is to sneak in the back way, because you can see the gates are closed there. Apparently the ninja can't jump over the wall, but it doesn't look that high to me. But you got to play it. It's a game, so you got to play it along. I've got a shuriken, so I'll just use that with this guy. Right, at the start of the level I picked up a little claw. There it is there. If you just look at the holding items. I can use that to scale this wall here. There we go. Yeah. Again, there's another cracking piece of music in the background. Well worth the listen. Sid player. Last Ninja. I mean, the music's clearly the best thing about the games. There's a shuriken on that block. Right, there's an apple hidden in the cave there. Have to use a claw again to climb down this wall. Again, the end of this level features, well, in fact here we are with not a swamp this time, but a river. There's a little, it's pixel perfect, you can see I'm sort of floating almost there. That's probably not the way to negotiate that river, but I found that little shortcut. If you look at, I'll come back to that. Look at my weaponry, you can see I'm almost got quite an arsenal now. I'm almost at full strength. I'm missing one item, which you get at the end of this level. This glove. Now, many of these items don't make much sense initially. If you have the game and you read the manual, there's a bit at the end that has cryptic clues about most of the objects. Now this, what I've just picked up is ninja magic, which is making me flash here. This is, yeah, you wouldn't really know what that was. Oops, Mr. Fail there. You wouldn't really know, apparently the ninja can't swim either. You wouldn't know what the ninja magic was for until you got to the end of the level, but obviously I know what it's for. Another bloody swamp. Right. Yeah, I'm doing alright. You've only got a limited amount of shuriken now, but what I've found is if you use them all in this level, there is a resupply in the next level, but it only appears if you don't have any, so it's worth getting rid of them all. Right, there we go. There's a little staff, which is the best weapon in the game, hidden in that bamboo forest there. Well, I think it's bamboo. This is where you need the ninja magic, otherwise you get roasted. There we go. Right, 2 levels down. We're now in the Palace Gardens. Now this game spawned 2 sequels on the 64. First sequel, which was would you believe is called Last Ninja 2. Yeah, it was quite a departure. It's quite opinion is quite divided on it actually. It took place in modern day New York, which a lot of people didn't like, but it sort of cashed in on the a lot of the ninja films that were B-movies, you might say, that were floating around on the home video market at the time. A little sea dragon here. He's quite. He can't kill you. He's just there for show. Right. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like the modern day New York theme of the sequel, but I quite liked it actually. In terms of gameplay, the gameplay, as far as I'm concerned, the gameplay in Last Ninja 2 is far superior to the gameplay in this game. Oh, the gameplay in this game is okay. It's, Last Ninja 2 also featured, I think Hugh Riley upped his game really. I think the graphics were much better as well. The music, yeah, I mean the music is good in Last Ninja 2, it's by Matt Gray, and it's very thumping drums and heavy bass as most Matt Gray tunes are, but I don't think the music is, it's not as great as music for this game. And apart from the change of musicians, you know, Hugh Riley and John Twitter both involved in the Last Ninja 2. But for Last Ninja 3, we had a change of personnel, and John Tiberi had left to go and it was form Vivid Image with Mev Dink, and the programming fell to Stanley Shembri. I'm not quite sure you pronounce that. I think that's right. Who used to work for Palace, programmed Cauldron 2, I think. Maybe some other stuff. And he's quite a good programmer. There's no doubt about that. I should say the late Stanley Shembri, because he's no longer with us, I believe. But it's certainly a well-programmed game. But I believe John Tiberi didn't leave any source code behind, or maybe I think he gave some advice. But basically, Shembri had basically worked from scratch, I think. It shows in the game. The actual handling of the character isn't as fluid as in Last Ninja 1 and 2, and but I think the biggest problem with it is I think the level layout is my biggest problem for Last Ninja 3. It just doesn't make any sense. The rooms just don't tally up together, they don't match, you get no idea where you go, and the level wraps around in a very strange way. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's that great a game, to be honest. I mean, in its defence, it does look tremendous. Graphics were by Robin Levy, and I believe Arthur Van Jol did a level. Both very talented artists. And music by Ryan Owlhand. And he did quite a good job. It's got some nice music in that game, but the actual gameplay itself is just not great. Right, well, I've dispatched most of the enemies in this level, and now I've picked up an amulet. There's another cryptic. There was a cryptic clue saying you had to hold it and pay homage, which I'm about to do. Now on to level 4. Now this is, we're through the palace gardens now, but we start, it's called the dungeons because this is what happens when you reach this point. You sink mysteriously into the ground and end up in a dungeon. I'm not quite sure, it doesn't quite make sense, but it's like you're magically transported. The graphics take a turn for the macabre here. There are some nice rats and skeletons and ghosts. It's quite a welcome break from the graphics of the earlier levels. There's a rope, this will come in handy. You can see I'm now using the staff exclusively. It is the best weapon, especially for this level because it's got the longest reach to take out the skeletons. Here we go. Yep, he's dead. I like the decapitated heads and the rats. It's a nice touch. Extra life, trying my best to get that. Yeah, the level layout doesn't quite make sense in this level either, I must admit. I mean, I know the route just from experience, but it doesn't really make much sense. If you draw it on a map, it doesn't tie up. I like the little rats nibbling in the arm at the bottom of that screen there. Yeah, I mean, I can see how some people don't rate this game, but personally, I think it's quite good fun. I don't think it's the best game on the 64. I mean, some people do, but not me. I think if the gameplay was a bit more innovative or just something fresh, then I might have rated it more highly. But floating ghost there, no legs. Now there's quite a big spider. It looks a bit like the something from Forbidden Forest. I'll tend to go a route to avoid him. That's the end of the level. I'll go this way. I think this is where he lives. Yeah, there he is. Hey, scary spider. I like little guys. Cocoons in the wall. That's quite a neat touch. Right, that's not the way. I'll just get a shuriken ready. This is the way. He's dead. Right, this is where the rope comes in handy. And there we go. We're on to level number 5. Which is the palace itself. I must admit, I love the music in this level, really fat bass. So here we are at the outside the palace. We're not in the palace yet. Now earlier in the game we picked up a key, which just happens to be the key for the palace door. Just have to pick it up. Yeah, it doesn't. Fantastic coincidence. I like little cow in this screen. It looks like he's so happy. That's the palace door. Now it looks open to me, so I don't know why you need the key. Now there's some more ninja magic involved in this level. And this statue drops his sword on you if you walk by him, so you've got to sort of snuggle up against him and sneak by. There we go. Right, ninja magic time. Back it now. There we go, we turn into the Incredible Hulk. I'm not quite sure what my... Now you need this to pass... there's an invisible force field apparently. We're approaching the evil shogun's domain, so it's guarded by some evil magic. Oh yeah, I've remembered his name now, it's Kunitoki. Kunitoki, the evil shogun Kunitoki. Right, so here we are at the inner sanctum, which is the last level. Some great music in this level as well, I must admit. I didn't quite intend this video to be as long as it has been, but I may as well show you the whole game because it doesn't really take that long to complete. It actually takes double the length of time on a real 64 playing on cassette, just due to the amount of loading. But I'm playing a compiled cartridge version, so I don't have the loading times. Now you don't get to see the evil shogun, I think. I think the last level was his bodyguard, I'm not sure. No, was never quite sure about that. This is one of these cryptic puzzles. You have to put a rose in a vase. I'm not quite sure what that's about, but there you go. And earlier in the level I picked up some sleeping potion, I think. There we go. It's a blue bottle with some Z on it. There's a killer dog here, so you got to knock it out. Now, if I just walk on the screen, I'll show you what happens. You get killed by the big mysterious stone statue. Again, doesn't make much sense. Now, if you touch these red dots, more ninja magic. Again, doesn't quite make sense. I'm not sure if there was a cryptic clue in the manual to explain that. Right, well here we are at the last screen of The Last Ninja. I'm not sure whether this is the evil shogun Kunitoki or his bodyguard, but he's quite a tough character. I'm just making it look easy, to be honest. Oh, mash battle somersault. I can sometimes do that, I'm not quite sure how. Right, here we go. There are the sacred scrolls that I was after. If I can get them. Keys in, come on. There we go. Oops. Oh yeah, the floor is a magic floor. You can't, you got to jump in the square. Maybe I'm not going to be holding anything. There we go. I've now found the scrolls, and here we are at the most pathetic end of game sequence ever seen on a Commodore 64 game. After all that, this is what we're rewarded with. The quest continues. Basically a massive fuck off to all those game explorers who spent weeks, months trying to complete the game. I was a bit disappointed when I first saw that actually, but I understand the technical reasons. You know, it would mean another load, another load to have more graphics. But I mean, there's that much loading, involved in the game. I don't think it would have thought to have had an end of level or end of game screen. But, so there we go. The last Ninja. I'll give it 8.5 out of 10 because I think it's a great game, but it's nothing new. It is an arcade adventure, but it's well done, very well done. Must admit. Right, that's all for this video.